Welcome back, cadets. It has been a long time coming. I hope you didn't miss me too much. Today we're going to be talking about Week 13. We're going to be talking about matchups, players to avoid down the stretch, and of course, the playoff push. We all want that fantasy championship. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the video. All right, guys, let's jump right into Week 13 matchups, Colts versus Titans. If you live under a rock, Jonathan Taylor is not going to be playing under this game, which means Zach Moss is going to be a plug-in and play running back 2, probably for 2 or 3 weeks. He's having thumb surgery, Jonathan Taylor, so it's still up in the air when he's going to be coming back. As for Derrick Henry, he has been a touchdown-dependent running back all year long, but he is far too great and he finds the end zone quite often, so it's going to be hard to leave him on your bench. He's probably in your starting lineup as well. As for the pass catchers, Michael Pittman locked in. Josh Downs, 13 targets last week. Really didn't amount to much. It is still encouraging to see 13 targets. He is in flex consideration. On the other side of the ball for the Titans, DeAndre Hopkins is the only pass catcher you should be starting this week. And even then, that comes with a serious risk. Hopkins has only caught 5+ balls and 2 matchups all year round. So the elite wide receiver Hopkins looks like Father Time is catching up with him finally. So as for that, QBs, Minshew and Will Levis should not be started in QB1 leagues anywhere. They are low-end flex considerations for super flex leagues. But other than that, that's about it. Moving on. We have the Lions versus the Saints. Now, Chris Olave, I give him a 50-50 shot at starting in this game. He is in concussion protocol. Obviously, if he is a play, he's locked into your lineup. We have Rashid Shaheed. He's a dart throw at best. Taysom Hill at the tight end position. If you could start him at the tight end position in your league, he is a wild card, but the tight end position is an absolute dumpster fire. So if you can, he could be considered a solid option. On the other side of the ball, we have Sam Laporta locked in. St. Brown locked into your lineup as well. He's been super consistent. Jameson Williams falls under that category of dart throws. If he catches a long touchdown, he might, pay off for you. But again, I would not count on it. The running backs, Alvin Kamara locked into your lineup. David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, they are both locked up into your lineup as well. As for the quarterbacks, Jared Goff is a startable option. There are a ton of players on bye. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, all on bye. So he's considered a low-end QB1 right now for this week. Derek Carr, not so much. He could be a solid flex, super flex play, but other than that, he should not be started in any QB1 leagues. Moving on, the Chargers at Patriots. The only Charger is trusted in this lineup as a pass catcher is Keenan Allen. You could start Gerald Everett if you're an absolute pinch at the tight end position, but he's probably a low end option as well. On the Patriots side of the ball, pass catchers, zilch. We are not starting any Patriots pass catchers until they figure out what's going on in the QB position. Douglas is a guy that I would be considered starting, but he is in concussion protocol, and it looks like he is very unlikely to play this week. So sorry, Douglas is not in play. The running backs, Eckler has been shaky, but his name is just way too good. You cannot bench him. There's just no way. Stevenson, he has been coming to life lately. He's a good floor play. He's a good running back too this week. As for the QBs, as we said on the Patriots side of the ball, there's just no chance. I'm not starting any QB on the Patriots. Herbert is locked in as a top 5 option this week. And moving on, Dolphins at Commanders, pass catchers, Hill and Waddle locked into your lineup. McLaurin, he is a wide receiver 2/3 this week. Dotson, he is a wide receiver 4 for desperate managers. Logan Thomas can be started. Sam Howell has been looking to him lately. As for the running back position, Mostert, he keeps scoring touchdowns. He is definitely in play. Lock him in. Brian Robinson, he is running back 5 on the year. Yes, I said it. Running back 5, locked into your lineup. He continues to impress. Devon Achane, he comes with serious risk reward here. It looks like he's going to give it a go to play. He's been practicing. So if he does get on the field, obviously know there is big concerns on him re-injuring his knee here. But he would be left on my bench if I had a guy like Jalen Warren or Javonte Williams on my team. That's just me. but know your risk reward here. Gibson is probably best left on your bench as well. QBs, Tua has been struggling lately, but he's got one of the best matchups coming into week 13. Washington is 32nd against giving up points to the fantasy QBs. So Tua is locked in as a top, I would say, 6 option this week. Sam Howell, he's leading the league in passing. He continues to impress. For fantasy, he continues to produce as well. So Sam Howell, he is a QB1 as well this week. Moving on. We have the 49ers at the Eagles. You know it, pass catchers. We are starting them all. Brown, Smith, Debo, Ayuk, all locked up into your lineup. I expect this to be a fairly high-scoring game. The running back position, Swift and Christian McCaffrey are the only running backs worth starting here, so lock them in as well. I just missed Kittle. Yes, Kittle should be in your lineup as well. Moving on to the QBs, Jalen Hurts. He's going to be a top 5 option. He's a threat to get into the end zone on the ground almost every single week with the tush push here, so lock him to your lineup. Brock Purdy, little revenge game. This is he got injured against the Eagles in the playoffs, so I think he could be a QB1 this week. He's a QB1/2 in my opinion. He's right on that cusp, that borderline. But he's definitely a great super flex play, but he could be started in QB1 leagues as well. Moving on. We have Chiefs at Packers. The pass catchers for the Kansas City Chiefs are Kelsey and Rice. That's it. There's nobody else. So Rice is a wide receiver 3. He's in consideration, maybe possibly a wide receiver 2 with upside, but that's it. Packers, Christian Watson. He could be in your lineup. If you put him in your lineup, don't trust him. He could definitely bust for you. As for considerations for tight end positions, Kraft, if you are absolutely desperate for a tight end, he could be someone you put in your lineup, but again, I would not count on it. Running backs, Pacheco, yes. Dylan, he's a low-end running back too. Flex play, he is in your lineup as well. I don't think Aaron Jones is playing this week. Highly doubtful. QBs, Mahomes has not been playing Mahomes-like, but he's too good to sit. You have to start him. Jordan Love has been actually playing really good lately. He is a good super flex play, and he's actually a pretty good sneaky play for QB1 leagues. Again, there is a bunch of bye weeks. Josh Allen, Jackson, Fields, they're all on bye. Jordan Love could be one of those guys to kind of sneak into the top 12 this week. Moving on to the Poo-Poo Bowl. We got the Falcons at the Jets. Pass catchers, it's going to be a very short list. Garrett Wilson. That's it. On the other side of the ball, we have Drake London. If you hate yourself, you could start Kyle Pitts. That should be fun. And running backs, Hill, yes. Bijan, yes. QBs, yeah, we're not doing that. Let's move on. All right, guys. We got Broncos at Texans. Now, listen. Pass catchers, Tank Dell, yes. Nico Collins, yes. Dalton Schultz, even though he completely did nothing last week, he is questionable going into this game. If he is going to play, you need to start him. The tight end position is an absolute dumpster fire. So, yes on Dalton Schultz. For the Broncos, Cortland Sutton is a flex consideration. He is catching touchdowns left and right. And I think that's about it. I would really trust for pass catchers on the Broncos side. Jerry Jeudy's doing absolutely nothing out there. So it's really Sutton or nothing. Running backs, Javonte Williams. He is a running back too. He should be locked into your lineup in flex consideration as well. Dameon Pierce, he should be nowhere near a lineup. He has been awful all season long. Singletary should be someone that you can put into a solid flex consideration. He is catching balls out the backfield as well. So consider that. QBs, Wilson is an okay option for super flex leagues. He could be an okay somewhat option for QB1 leagues as well. CJ Stroud, he continues to impress. He is locked into your lineup for week 13 as well. So moving on. We have Cardinals at Pittsburgh. Pass catchers, Dante Johnson, yes. Hollywood Brown, yes. McBride, a yes, especially with the Zach Ertz release. Freiermuth, yes. He just had his best game as a fantasy tight end last week, so absolutely. Pickens, you should start him if you really hate your life. He's absolutely should be best left on your bench. For whatever reason, it's the talent is not matching what this offense wants from him. So leave him on your bench. Running backs, James Conner, you should start him, but it should be a cautious start. yeah, consider that he might be a very low end flex play this week. Najee Harris, he could be a low end flex play. Najee's coming around a little bit, but again, there's no ceiling with Najee. Jalen Warren is more of a higher ceiling play. He can catch the ball. He's more explosive, so I like Jalen Warren just a little bit more. QBs, Kyler Murray continues to produce for fantasy football. Fire Kyler up. Kenny Pickett, another guy that has a great matchup this week. I really don't care how good the matchup is. Kenny Pickett sucks. He looks like a fifth grader out there throwing the ball around. He should nowhere be near anyone's starting lineups. Maybe in super flex we can deal with it, but in QB1 leagues, Kenny Pickett, absolutely not. Moving on, Panthers at Bucks. Pass catchers, Mike Evans locked in. Godwin, he's a flex consideration. Adam Thielen has cooled off the past couple weeks, but again, he's still on the fantasy radar. He should be started as well. Auden, tight end. If you're desperate, he's out there. You can start him. You probably won't like it. Just something to think about. Running backs. Let's move on to the running back position because there's no other pass catchers to talk about. White locked in. He's been a solid floor running back all year. He showed a little bit of ceiling the past couple of weeks. So, Rashid White, lock him in. Hubbard is a flex consideration. He's been getting most of the work. He's been finding the end zone. Miles Sanders should be nowhere near a lineup. Oh my God, that was a terrible. If you drafted him this year, I'm so sorry. It's been awful. Moving on, QBs. We have Mayfield and Young. They have been pretty. I mean, Mayfield's been up and down. Young has just been trash all year. These are two guys you could probably start in a super flex league. Again, they should be nowhere near a starting lineup in QB1 league. So, moving on. Okay, we got the Browns at the Rams. Pass catchers. Amari Cooper might not play in this one, but if he does suit up, yeah, go ahead and start him if you absolutely don't like yourself. Please do not start Amari Cooper. Joe Flacco is probably going to get the start in this one. It's going to be his first career start as a Brown. He doesn't really know the playbook. David Njoku is only guy worth considering starting for a Browns pass catcher, and that's a big if. Again, there's a lot of risk there, but again, the tight end position is an absolute dumpster fire, so why not? Puka Nacua, he should still be fired up. Cooper Kupp, I know he's been pretty shaky the last, I want to say, 4 weeks, but the name is so good, and he is so good of a player. If he suits up, you just got to deal with the pains. Okay, one of these weeks, he's got to hit, right? One of these weeks, he's got to hit. So, Cooper Kupp owners, hang in with me, okay? Running backs, Jerome Ford. He's been playing well. Maybe he's been playing better in real life than in fantasy football. I think the translation is going to come this week. Start Jerome Ford. Hunt. He's a touchdown-dependent, low-end running back, too. That's all he is at this point. Kyron Williams, he's balling. He's back. Our waiver wire darling from week 1. Fire him up. He is locked into your lineup. Matt Stafford, he is worth a start with, again, QB's on bye. He could flirt with QB1 upside this week. Joe Flacco, I'm not even going to comment on that. Let's move on. And for the Monday night game, Bengals at Jaguars, pass catchers, Ridley, Kirk, Ingram, yes. Trevor Lawrence looks like he's clicking on all cylinders. It only took him, 2.5 months of the season to figure it out, but here we are. Higgins looks to be practicing. It looks like he's going to suit up Monday. It doesn't matter because we have Browning throwing the ball. Higgins is going to be a touchdown-dependent play. I don't see this working out for any pass catchers, but again, if you drafted Higgins in the second and third round, I understand if you have to play him, so I'm not going to tell you to sit him. As a same thing as goes with Chase. If you drafted Chase in the first round, it's going to be pretty hard to sit him. You just need to temper your expectations. Joe Burrow is not under center. Okay. Running backs. Travis Etienne. Yes, please. He should be. I know he cooled off a little bit, and he hasn't been finding the end zone, but the Bengals are awful at stopping the run. I think he finds the end zone this week. Mixon, he should be better. I don't know why the Bengals did not run the ball last week. He only had 10 touches in a game that was a one-possession game for pretty much the entire game. It was a one-possession game. So this, we have an inexperienced quarterback at the helm, and we we're just throwing the ball over the field. Get the ball to Joe Mixon this week, please. Do it. Okay. QBs, like I said, Trevor Lawrence is clicking on all cylinders. He is in play. He's a QB1 this week. Finally, he's starting to heat up. Browning, please don't start Browning. Don't start him in Superflex. Don't start him in QB1 leagues. Don't start him in your family leagues. Don't start him in the toilet bowl leagues. Please keep him on the waiver. Okay. Guys, that's going to wrap up Week 13 matchups. I hope you loved my Mahomes wig here. We're going to go Mahomes-like, and I hope I give you the leader advice that you need to win your fantasy football do or die. I know it's Week 13 matchups to get you into the fantasy playoffs. Do me a favor, if you have not done so already, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more fantasy content, and we will see you in the next video.